Hi, I'm Gardner Humphreys, the College and Career Specialist at George Marshall High School. I want to give you a quick tour of all the great things you can do in Family Connection. This is an outstanding college and career planning tool, and it also has a lot of information unique to you and unique to Marshall that you can't get anywhere else. So let me show you what we're going to do today. Take a look at your Blackboard dashboard, and on the left-hand side you're going to see the Family Connection logo. So you click on that and it will take you directly into your Family Connection account. Now I'm just going to give you the highlights today, and there's a lot you can do behind each tab here. But first, take a look at this Colleges tab. If you're interested in a university and you want to know a lot about it, click on that college and you can see not only things like the student-faculty ratio, which might give you an idea how big or small the classes are, but the retention rate and how many people, say, come back for sophomore year after going there for freshman year, and also the graduation rate, how many people graduate on time or at least within time and a half, and that's 6 years right there. So there's a lot of great things you can learn about universities, and if you scroll down a little bit here, you can see information like how many people are taking a certain major at the university. You can also see things like student life, what percentage of the students come from a certain part of the country, or a certain ethnicity, or are from inside the state or outside the state. So there's a lot of really useful things that you can learn here. Next, take a look at this. If you want more ideas about colleges, you can use this tool on here called the SuperMatch Tool. And that's called SuperMatch because you're going to say what things are important to you by looking at all these criteria on the left-hand side here, and you're going to pick which ones you want to search by, and you can say whether or not you want to have them, you would kind of like to have them, or whether or not they're a must-have for you. And it will pop up instant results on the right, and when you see one that's interesting to you or you want to save, you just hit the heart icon right there, and it will save it to your account under Colleges I'm Thinking About. So that's a very useful thing to do right there. So that's called the SuperMatch tool, and it is a computer-generated list, so it won't be perfect, but it's meant to generate a lot of ideas and get your thinking going, maybe on some criteria that you haven't thought about before. Okay, so next, one of the things here in Family Connection which you can't get anywhere else is whether or not a college will be, say, hard or easy or somewhere in between for you to be accepted to. Now, this is something I don't recommend doing too early in your college search, but as you get down the road and you want to find out kind of academically what colleges are looking for in the different levels, you can go to a university, say Christopher Newport here, and if Marshall has had a lot of students apply, you can see for the last couple of years all of those seniors mapped out on a graph and who got in and who didn't, not by name but by color. So there's a green check mark, and there are blues which were deferred or waitlisted, and then there's reds who were denied. So you can get an idea for the range of grades and SAT scores that might help in getting into this college. And here, for example, for Christopher Newport, you can see something with, say, just around a B plus is a good outcome for Christopher Newport, and you would like your chances there if you had something around that or a little bit higher. Now, of course, that doesn't guarantee any certain GPA would be accepted or not, but it lets you have an idea of the range that would be helpful for that school and whether or not they seem to really value SAT scores or ACT scores, and if they do, which ones seem to be helping the most. So that's something to keep an eye out for. The other thing you can do with this is take a look at paying for college. So this will give you the average, what they call net price of a college. So that's how much a college is really going to cost your individual family after it's taken away whatever aid it's given you. So that would be like, say, after it offers you free grants, how much is the college really going to cost you in money you either have to pay out of your pocket or in student loans. You can see here for VCU, you can break it down by family income, and you can get an idea, okay, for my family, who has an income of a certain level, how much does VCU usually cost families like mine? Now, that doesn't mean that your exact family is going to pay this price, but it gives you a general idea, and of course after you do your financial aid application you'll know specifically. It also says how many, what percentage of the student body there get a type of a grant, which is money you don't have to pay back, or a loan, or a grant to low-income families called the Pell Grant from the federal government. So that's very helpful as well. All right, moving along, another highlight of Family Connection is the careers section. So a lot of people have no idea what they want to do for a job or after they graduate college someday or for a career, but this can help you think and again generate some ideas about what some careers might be good for you. So you can do a couple assessments in here. You can also just explore some different types. One thing you can do is look down here by category of career, and if you're, for example, interested in some areas of health science, you can click on that, and you can learn all kinds of things, including how many jobs are opening up in Virginia, how many people make certain salaries of certain levels, what kind of college degrees you need to earn a certain salary, and also even sample courses of study, classes that would be good to take in high school or in college if you want to do that job someday or study it in college. So that's very helpful, and that's in the careers tab right there. Lastly, something that can kind of give you an idea about an inspiration for certain types of careers or areas of study for you in college would be Road Trip Nation. So this takes another approach, and through asking 3 very simple questions, you can start to get an idea of how you might be inspired in the same way that other similar people were. So it's going to ask you things like, what's an environment you like to work in, what's an interest you have, and say some foundational skills. And it's going to suggest these different videos for people who found their passions and have been very successful in their careers over time. And you may have something in common with them or learn something from them. Now lastly, you can get some practical experience in Family Connection by checking out some of the internships and some of the volunteering opportunities and maybe even the summer programs. And that can be done here through 3 different places. 1, through the document library over here on your right. 2, through X2Vol, which is a volunteering listing that's updated weekly. And lastly, under the Colleges tab, there's something called enrichment programs. And that has programs all over the world, not just during the summer, but year-round. And that includes internships and for pay opportunities as well. I hope you've enjoyed some of these highlights of Family Connection, and get in there and explore and try a couple assessments and have fun using the tool.